Patricia Stevens, who is over Domestic Relations Circuit Court, Place 15. Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Good
How
to see
you
you,
doing?
Jarvis. I'm wonderful.
Fine. Thank you for taking time out the schedule to come and talk to the voters today and kind of tell them why you're running, and also tell them what the past 4 years since you've been in this specific position, some things you worked on, accomplishments. So I guess the first thing to start off with, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. I am Judge Patricia Stevens, and I'm thankful to the citizens of Jefferson County who elected me to serve in 2012. And because I was elected to serve in 2012, and I'm currently sitting on the bench, I am the presiding judge in the Domestic Relations Court. I spent approximately 10 years with the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office as a prosecuting attorney. And during that time, the attorneys will tell you it wasn't about a win for me, it was about justice. I spent 3 years with a general practice law firm where we handled cases all over the state of Alabama, and a variety of cases during that time. And then I sought the position as circuit court judge and was elected in November of 2012. And that's where I've been since that time.
Okay. Can you tell us what exactly is Domestic Relations Circuit Court? Because I know that's a real wordsy term, but kind of tell specifically what type of cases you all hear and what judge. Okay.
Yeah, when people hear domestic relations, they automatically think of domestic violence, but actually the Domestic Relations Court is divorce court. I handle all of the initial divorce issues, and then the post-divorce issues. We handle the child support modifications, child custody modifications, any contempt issues after the divorce itself is final.
Okay. Since being in office for 2012, what do you feel has been like your biggest accomplishments?
Biggest accomplishment, I think, is a shift in how we view the custody and of our children, and what we call our shared custody plans. That's been the biggest thing for me. Before I ever took the bench, I always knew that it was not enough for any parent to spend, say, 4 days a month with their children. I think you've probably heard of standard visitation before, and that's where the non-custodial parent would see the child, say, second and fourth weekends. That gives you 4 days a month with your child, and that's not enough time for anyone. So where we are now, and I'm thankful that Jefferson County is progressive, and the attorneys are willing to work with the judges. They're willing to tell their litigants that every other weekend is not acceptable.
Okay.
So what we do is encourage the parents to work together to come up with a custodial schedule that works for them, works for their children. It works around work schedules so that each parent is as actively involved in their children's lives as they can possibly be.
So from what you're saying, that's a very busy courtroom.
Extremely busy court. Between the 3 judges that handle the divorce cases and all post-divorce issues for the Birmingham Division of Jefferson County, we'll get anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 new pleadings a year.
Oof. That's a lot. I guess one thing, this season's been probably the most competitive in these races. What's some things you think voters should look for when selecting or thinking about which judge they should vote for?
Okay. One of the things I think is going to be very important is what was the reputation of that person when they were an attorney?
Okay.
Were they a good attorney? Were they effective? Did they work hard? Did they represent their clients zealously? And if you look at what type of attorney they were, then it can determine what type of judge they're going to be. You want someone who's hardworking, who's willing to be a student of the law, and that means to make sure that they keep up with all the new changes, know the appellate decisions, someone who is willing to put in the extra time. I know with judgeships, you see judges and you think to yourself, oh, easy position. However, what you don't see with judges, what you don't see with the attorneys, You need someone who's willing to work nights, weekends, holidays, whatever it takes to be able to get their cases in the posture and position that they need to be in. And especially with divorce court, it's a very busy court. A lot of motions are filed with the divorce court, so you have to be willing to put in that extra time in order to move those cases as efficiently as possible.
So how long does an average trial last?
Now, the average trial with a divorce can usually be done in 1 to 2 days.
Okay.
It's unusual to have 2, 3, and 4 week trials in a divorce situation.
Okay. What should somebody expect if they come in your courtroom?
Number one, you should expect me to be fair. You should expect me to listen to both sides of whatever is going on in that particular case. And my decision is going to be a decision that's going to look at all of the factors that are involved in a case. Of course, you get people who want you to look at their side or only one particular aspect. And I tell people, as a sitting judge, I have to look at everything that's going on in that case, not just one particular thing. And my decision has to be based on everything that's going on with the case. All of the facts, all of the evidence, and everything that's going to be, especially if a child is involved, what's in the best interest of that child also.
Okay. So tell folks one thing about you that they wouldn't even know or expect.
Wouldn't know or expect. I'm an Auburn grad. I don't know if a lot of people know that. My husband is a United States Army veteran, and my husband is a pastor of a church. So a lot of people don't know that that I also have to wear the hat of being a pastor's wife.
Oh, okay. So if people are more interested and find out more about your campaign, what website can they visit?
My website is stevensforjudge.com, and I also have a Facebook page. It's Circuit Judge Patricia Stevens.
Okay. Well, this is the part of the interview where I always ask the candidate to look straight in the camera and they kind of make their final case. So, Judge, thank you for your time, and just tell the folks why they should vote for you on June 5th.
Okay. I am Judge Patricia Stevens, and I am seeking re-election. This is a position in which I have put my heart into it because I care about our children. I care about our community. Some of the things that I've done since I've been in this position is making sure to strengthen families and do whatever I can so that the divorce is between the parents. It's not a divorce between the parents and the children. I would like to continue in that position. I send people to the job readiness program, to impact U-turn if they don't have employment, because I feel if we can strengthen the families, we ultimately